for a business. So it just consists of sending tweets, so mini updates. There are 140 characters max, and you can send text, but you can also send images and links to content. Anyone can set up an account. There's lots and lots of individual accounts, but actually you can set up a dedicated business account that doesn't have to be connected to an individual. Unlike Facebook, where you have to connect a business account to a personal profile, you don't have to do that in Twitter. It's great. You can just set up a business account and operate it as a business. It's pretty massive, in case you haven't noticed. There's over 230 million users, but actually 100 million of those use Twitter every single day. So it's pretty addictive actually once you start getting into it, and you can quite understand why that is. 62% of people that use it are women, and each month 40 million more women use Twitter than men, so definitely quite heavy on the ladies. In terms of age, the biggest bulk are kind of 18 to 49, with 18 to 29 being the largest. But interestingly, the 45 to 54 is the fastest growing demographic, and 11% are 50 to 64. So it's definitely one to watch out for the older crowd. Facebook is still much more popular for the older crowd, but Twitter is catching up, and there's a big distance between Twitter and Facebook and any of the other social media networks for the older demographic. So Facebook is the biggest, but Twitter is definitely hot on the heels. So why is it so great generally? I think people often miss this about Twitter, but it's not just about promotion. People, when they think about Twitter, think of celebrities tweeting inane comments about their life. And yes, you can promote, and it's brilliant for that. You can share lots of content really quickly and really easily. But what people really miss out on is the fact that you learn a lot from it, which is one of the reasons that lots and lots of journalists are on there. Essentially, it's a personalised internet filter based on your interests. So depending on who you follow, you can filter all of the crap on the internet down into stuff that you're really interested in. So if you were interested in sustainability and green things in your area, then you would follow, all the green charities, Soil Association, and any local organisations. And then through your home feed, you'd have all these links to content on the internet that were in and around green issues that might interest you. So actually, it's really amazing for learning. And then again, people often, particularly business pages, miss on the engagement aspect. They can promote and try to put out lots and lots of marketing content, but they're not really engaging anyone, and it's all about engagement really. So actually you can have really great conversations on Twitter. So for a business, the promotion aspect is brilliant. It allows you to share product information, and it's specifically with targeted customers. So it tends to go to the people that are following you, who are likely to be interested in what you're interested in, or they wouldn't be following you. And then it goes to their friends who often have similar interests, because they will share it amongst their followers. And the learning aspect is brilliant, because it means that you can really drill down and start to understand and find out what your customers are interested in, which is great. So you can start to really learn about what they want and what they need from you and your business. But also you can track industry news and find out lots of things about the business area that you're in to keep on top of things and on top of trends, which is really great. And the engagement stuff is brilliant at both engaging with new customers but creating great loyalty to your brand. So it's really, really great for a business. So you might be thinking, what are you talking about? So I'm just going to show you some tweets that people have done. These are all done from Hackney Social, which is the parent company of Digital Mums. So we've basically, we've promoted here, but we've quite cleverly not promoted lots of our own product information, because we've done a bit of a softly approach where we're actually just sharing lots of useful content for the kinds of customers that we want to eventually win, and that's very local to Hackney. And also we work a lot with food startups and cafes and restaurants, so it's quite food focused as well. So actually what we've done is shared and promoted content from other people in order to try and engage those people. So for example, the second one, Ray Road, which is a cafe in Hackney, we shared the fact that it's fragrant with Goan spices with duck curry on the menu, which was something a product promotion that they did, but because we would quite like them potentially to be a customer of ours, we've then repurposed it and shared it amongst our followers in order to start some engagement with them. So in terms of learning, let's just have a look at a couple of others. So essentially we are pop-up. I've said if you're in Hackney tonight, head over to Atomic Gallery, which is opening at Hackney Down Studios. Now, Hackney Social, this came into the Hackney Social feed. We didn't know about this, and it's exactly the kind of thing that we would like to go to, and so we did. So interestingly, it's directly from Twitter we found out about something that not just helped our business, it's a great networking opportunity, it was also really fun. And then I've mentioned in this one that the Railroad post was partly done from promoting their content, but it was partly about engaging with a potential customer. But if we look at these tweets, you can just see actually that there's a straightforward conversation happening between these people, and you can actually have conversations on Twitter with people in live time, just as you would as if you were in the same room or if you were on a Google Hangout. So it's really brilliant. And Katie and Steve were just having a right old chinwag on Twitter. It's really nice. This is a couple of really nice tweets that a couple of businesses did that were kind of where they were engaging with Twitter rather than just doing lots of product promotion. So London Pop-Up did a tweet about Copper, which were a really lovely pop-up on the roof in Hackney. And they said that they were open Thursday to Saturday. And then Copper actually got back to them and said, actually, that's not true. They were open Friday to Sunday. So that's really smart because it wouldn't have been London Pop-Ups that would have got blamed if people had turned up on a day that they weren't actually open. It's unlikely they would have gone back to London Pop-Ups and tweeted to them. It would have been Copper that would have borne the brunt of that. So it was just a smart way of Copper coming back and just addressing that error straight away. And then a really nice one at the bottom is Tim has said he's off to Cornwall, and then the Cornwall project have just got straight back to him and said pop in and see the Ian in the Butchers. So that's just a really nice way of them engaging with him. They've started a conversation. So that's just an example of how you can get involved in a conversation. Someone has said something like Tim, and then you can just respond. And they're not really overly selling what they do, the Cornwall project, but it's highly likely that they know the guy in the Butchers, and the guy in the actual Butchers probably fits with their brand. So that's just quite a nice example. So it's just brilliant. So by following the right people on Twitter, you can really target your customers in a very smart way. So you can follow similar organisations to you and your direct competitors. And through those organisations, you reach those that are already interested in your area. And you can actually go and see who's following them and stuff. So you can actually really easily, and there's a tutorial to show you how to do this, you can click on your tutorial, click on your competitor and then see who's following them, and then you can just follow all of those people as well. So that's just kind of an easy way to do it. And then also if you think about your local area, so your customers are highly likely to be local. So, I mean, obviously if you've got e-commerce, you can sell wider than that, but you will have a real interest in people that are in and around the area of your business. So you can follow local businesses and local hubs and target people in your area specifically that way, which is really nice. You can also follow local press and people like that. Because it's so immediate, it's very easy to create a buzz around your organisation. So if you ran a competition, it's very real time, and you could actually run a competition on a particular day, and it would generate lots of buzz on that actual day. And it's by far the best platform for having conversations. You can engage and have conversations on some other platforms, but they're just not real time in quite the same way. People tend to get back to you straight away on Twitter because you get notifications on your phone in perhaps not quite the same way that you would do for Facebook. So I see people commenting on Facebook, and then people are going back to them a day or a couple of days later, and by that point you're just sort of over it really, because the conversation is meant to happen in real time. And that's the great thing about Twitter, is that it really does happen in real time. So just a really basic recipe for Twitter. The main thing is to share really great content. and then to have really great conversations and to engage people. And then at the bottom you do product promotion, but you just make sure that that's limited, and that if you want to do a lot of product promotion on a particular time or around a particular theme, make sure that you've got enough tweets interspersed with that to make it up to this ratio where you've got the other great content and the great conversations happening as well. And then you really need to spend you need to spend a minimum of 30 minutes per day, I think, not just tweeting, but also, reading your home feed and learning. So that's a good guide for time. And then you want to send a minimum of 5 to 6 tweets per day. You don't want your Twitter feed to be very tumbleweed. And don't worry too much about curating your tweets too carefully. Don't spend 15 minutes writing a tweet. It's meant to be like a conversation. So, I mean, think about what you're writing, but, spend 2 to 3 minutes per tweet. It might be when you start off, you might be spending a little bit longer, but just, after a week, try and kind of speed it up, and it will happen naturally, but just don't overthink it, I think, is the best piece of advice I can give you on that. And then always respond to people straight away. So ideally within the hour if someone comments or tweets or starts a conversation with you, because it needs to feel real time. So that's the basic tutorial. There's the intermediate tutorial next, which is much more nuanced around building a following. And then there's the advanced tutorial, so just go and have a watch of those. And there's also other content in the community, and don't forget you can get involved with conversations with the mums to find out how they're getting along. So that's it for the basics.